Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Exhumed movie review. Today we are talking about Son of Frankenstein. I'm reviewing Son of Frankenstein because one of my creepy patron peeps, Josh, aka JG from NC, requested it. So thank you, Josh, for your request, and thank you to all my other creepy patron peeps as well for your support of my channel. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. Directed by Roland V. Lee and starring Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, and Basil Rathbone. I feel like you just have to say his name that way. Wolfram Frankenstein returns to the infamous Frankenstein manor with his wife and son, although he is not welcomed by the locals, who are still terrified of his father's monster. At the manor, Frankenstein finds his father's old laboratory and notes regarding his infamous experiment. Frankenstein soon encounters Igor, who tells Frankenstein that the monster is still alive, but in a coma of sorts. Frankenstein decides to go forward with helping Igor and revives the monster, who then begins killing the townspeople at Igor's bidding. Much of this movie was actually kind of like prepared / written moments before the actors were supposed to shoot their scenes. This is how the director Lee was able to keep Lugosi working throughout the shoot, as Igor was not actually, the character of Igor, I'm sorry, was not actually written into the original script. But this resulted in one of Lugosi's most memorable characterizations as Igor. All right, let's get into what I liked about Son of Frankenstein. I really liked the idea of the movie. Although I love Bride of Frankenstein, I feel like this one, Son of Frankenstein, seemed like a more logical sequel in general. There are parts that don't make a lot of sense, but overall I feel like it's a more logical sequel to Frankenstein. Lugosi was awesome in the movie. I may have to say I think I like him better as Igor over Dracula in terms of his characters. I know. I love how like diabolical he was and a little bit crazy, and he had way more speaking lines, obviously. And this is the first time I've seen Lugosi where he wasn't doing Dracula or a variation of Dracula. I think I talked about it. What was the movie? It wasn't Plan 9 from Outer Space, or was it? No, it wasn't. It was the other Ed Wood movie that I reviewed that now I can't remember, where Lugosi is like a mad scientist, and I was talking about how it seemed like he was doing the Dracula thing, but he wasn't supposed to be Dracula. And I feel like he even has a few moments in Island of Lost Souls where he's doing like the Dracula eyes, and they frame his eyes in that way. This role as Igor definitely confirmed for me that he is not just a one-note actor, because I didn't notice any of the Dracula performance in this, so I was really happy about that. It was nice to see a slightly different performance from Lugosi. I gotta say, the death of the monster, spoiler alert, whatever, he dies at the end of like every movie, doesn't he? They all do. They all are defeated and yet can come back for multiple sequels. It happens so fast in the movie and is super shocking. Normally I feel like I would have liked something that was so anticlimactic. I kind of appreciate how the filmmakers, it looks like they at least tried to set up like a final death. If you haven't seen the movie in a little bit, or if you just, you know, I'm gonna spoil it. Basically what happens is the monster kind of kidnaps Frankenstein's son, and takes him back to the laboratory where there is a sulfur spring, and they foreshadow it in the movie that it's like 800 degrees or something ridiculous like that, and it would pretty much boil you alive. Set up there, and then the payoff is when Frankenstein, desperate to save his son, does like a George of the Jungle and like swings down on this rope and just fucking kicks the monster into the sulfur pit where he apparently boils alive. It just happens like that, like it's so fast, and I was kind of like, oh. I was expecting more of a dramatic, you know, kind of like at the end of Bride of Frankenstein, how it's so dramatic, they're like, we belong dead, and yeah. But I appreciate the filmmakers trying to create this like final death of sorts, because how are you gonna come back from being melted alive? Hi, garbage truck. My ride is here, you guys, so I gotta go. I can also tell that Young Frankenstein took so much from this movie. Like, I feel like it was just like completely a parody of Son of Frankenstein. Definitely one of my favorites. I always get joy from watching Young Frankenstein. So it was nice to see, you know, where the parody was kind of based off of pretty much. As I was watching it, I was just like, why is this familiar? And then it, you know, the lightning struck, you know, lightning, because it's Frankenstein. I'll just go. Let's get into what I didn't like about Son of Frankenstein. I don't know if they purposefully set out to make like coherent sequels, or if it's supposed to go Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein. I would assume so. I mean, he dies at the end of all of them, so I don't know how they're supposed to be connected really, but there's a lot of stuff that just like disconnects Bride and Son of Frankenstein. It just makes me wonder if like maybe it's like two separate people tried to create two separate sequels for the movie. I don't know if it's supposed to be like 1, 2, 3. Somebody in the comments can maybe let me know. I don't know if there's supposed to be a logical progression between the movies, but how does the monster go from speaking in Bride of Frankenstein to just grunting again in this one if it's supposed to come after Bride of Frankenstein? Well, obviously it is, because Victor Frankenstein is in Bride and he is dead in Son of Frankenstein. That makes sense. Unless, like, I don't know, unless we're just supposed to assume like the electric charge that Wolf von Frankenstein uses to bring the monster back kind of just like is like a reset, you know, like, you know, when your laptop doesn't work, you just turn it off and turn it back on again. Worth it. That being said though, was Son of Frankenstein worth it? I say yes. Like, I mean, Universal movie monster pictures are just so much fun, so it's fun in that way. Yeah, I know this is like one of the more beloved Frankenstein movies, I think. I don't know, I feel like all the Frankenstein movies are just beloved. Everyone loves Bride of Frankenstein. Everyone clearly loves Son of Frankenstein. Anyway, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 7.2 out of 10. Tomatoes, it has a 91% critic score and a 71% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 3.5 out of 5. If you've seen Son of Frankenstein, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. As always, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye.